Good afternoon, everyone. For more than a century, individuals have generously donated their bodies to the Howard University College of Medicine for the education of physicians, dentists, nurses, occupational and physical therapists, physician assistants, and anatomists. The donors had a generosity of spirit that continued to give to the next generation of health professionals and their patients. The practice of medicine starts with attendance to the cadaver, the student's first patient, serving to enhance their knowledge and deepen their sense of humanity. We are humbled and forever grateful for these priceless gifts which provide the light to show us the way.
Good afternoon again, everyone, and welcome to Howard University's Anatomy Donor Memorial Program. My name is Natalie Miller.
And my name is Chamberlain Newman.
And we are delighted to host this celebration of life with you all as your two MCs. So before we begin, we want to quickly discuss our experiences in Anatomy Lab and show why we're so grateful to be your MCs today. So for me, Anatomy Lab initially was scary. I was exploring a new world and also a new body, but as the year progressed, I quickly became enamored with it and wanted to learn everything about my donor. So my donor was named Bonnie, and Bonnie was a chef. And before she passed away, she had her nails painted a bright peach orange color. And so I felt like being part of the Anatomy Lab was also getting to know Bonnie better. And so I'm grateful to have that opportunity to not only have that education as a medical student, but also just be an admirer of her life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And my experience was very similar. My experience in the Anatomy Lab has been very impactful, and I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. This is an experience that I certainly do not take for granted, and I will carry with me forever.
So we would just like to thank all of the donors and their families. Sharing their stories and their talents. And first, we're going to introduce Father Robert P. Boxey III, who will now be giving us our invocation. Please give him a warm welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Father Robert Boxey. I'm the Catholic chaplain here at Howard University and also chaplain of our Sister Thea Bowman Catholic Student Center here just off campus. It's great to be here with all of you. Let us bow our heads in prayer. Father in heaven, author and sustainer of all life, we gather together in gratitude and in reverence to honor these men and women who have offered their bodies and their lives to the advancement of science, the medical arts, and the healing of others for the benefit of these future doctors and health professionals. We remember each of them not as subjects of study, but as persons of dignity, of courage, and profound generosity. Each was a son, a daughter, a parent, a friend, a spouse, individuals with stories that live on in their loved ones who are here today. Their legacy will continue on as teachers of these future doctors, helping them to learn the skill with which you, Father, created and formed us. They will be their first patients who teach them how to treat the body with care and respect. They will contribute in a meaningful way to the healing of so many people and will advance the science of medicine. We thank you, Father, for their lives, for their families, for their sacrifice, for the trust they place in this institution to train the next generation of doctors and physicians. We pray especially for their families and all those who are here present who will carry on their memories. We grant them peace and comfort, knowing that their loved one's life will not be in vain and will benefit and serve humanity. And finally, oh Father, we ask you to bless the students, the researchers, the professors, all those who will learn from these selfless souls. May they gain wisdom and knowledge, but also a deep respect, humility, and compassion. May they come to a greater appreciation through these individuals that respects the dignity and sacredness of every human life, from conception to natural death, that one that reverences the mystery of the human body, and in its vocation of healing, that they may come to protect life at all costs. Receive their souls into your eternal care, and may their lives never be forgotten. We ask all of this in your most holy name, Father, Son, and Spirit, one God, the risen one, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen. Amen.
Thank you. Up next, we will have Dean Deborah H. Ford, who serves as Senior Associate Dean of Academic Affairs at the College of Medicine. Please welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon to the families of the donors, faculty, students, and staff. On behalf of the Howard University College of Medicine, welcome to the Anatomy Donor Memorial Program. I am Dr. Deborah Ford, Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Associate Professor of Surgery here at Howard. Thank you to Dean Ford, Dr. Byron Ford, Mr. Cosgrove, Dr. Ramat, the anatomy faculty, students, and the planning committee for the invitation to offer a few reflections on the importance of donors in medical education. I can't think of a better way to do that than to share my experience as an example. It was 44 years ago, in 1982, that I arrived at the College of Medicine as a freshman medical student, recent graduate of the Howard University School of Liberal Arts, now known as the College of Arts and Sciences. I was excited for the next phase of my education. I had an amazing class and we bonded quickly. Of course, it did not take long before we were introduced to Numa P.G. Adams' first floor anatomy lab. We knew that learning anatomy was the cornerstone of medical education and that we would have to successfully pass the anatomy course to move on. I had a great team at my assigned tank. I still know their names to this day. The anatomy faculty, including Dr. Baker, the late Dr. Cruz, and the great Dr. Aziz, to name a few. They were amazing. They were very excited for us, but they knew what was ahead. I couldn't wait. I had no trepidation about going into the cadaver lab. Some of my classmates did. But I knew that I had to do that to become a doctor. I had to learn everything there was to know about the human body. I did okay. Passed my exams, learned what I needed to learn, but then I got stuck in a part when we came to the pelvic anatomy. It was so difficult for me. I couldn't understand it, and I didn't understand because it was so super complex. So I reached out to my professors, spent night and day in the anatomy lab, and I really tried to understand the material. But I powered through those extra nights and talking with my classmates, reading as much as I could, rereading the atlas, and soon it all clicked. I passed the course, and in fact, I received the award for the highest performance in anatomy that year. I knew that my donor had provided the opportunity for me to grasp the structure of the human body and all of its nuances. During my first year of medical school, I thought that I was going to be an OBGYN. At least that's what I said in my personal statement. But we all know that interests change as we move through the curriculum, and we decide to do something different. Then I wanted to be a pathologist. All along, just loving anatomy. And then it sort of all clicked. In my first rotation of my third year, surgery was my first rotation. And it took 2 days on that rotation before I realized that everything made sense, why my interests were the way they were. And so I knew at that time I had found what I was supposed to do, and I was going to be a surgeon. All the days and nights in the anatomy lab, my obsessions with the abdomen and the pelvis, and the interest in pathology led me to a career that I would integrate all of those things. And so today I'm a colon and rectal surgeon. For the last 34 years in my chosen profession, I depend on my understanding of the detailed anatomy of the body and its function. I couldn't operate if I didn't understand the anatomy. And I offer my thanks to the families and donors who made it possible for me and my classmates 44 years ago to achieve our goals to become competent practicing physicians and surgeons. The donor program is invaluable and remains the cornerstone to allow new generations of student doctors, healthcare professionals to learn the intricate details of the human body on their journey to becoming amazing physicians, surgeons, dentists, and other healthcare professionals. Again, I offer my thanks to the unselfish donations made by the families attending and viewing the ceremony today. We appreciate you and we thank you. Thank you. I now would like to introduce Dr. Dawn Williams, the Interim Provost and Chief Academic Officer of Howard University and the Dean of the School of Education, to come and give her remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Ford, and thank you for that introduction. And really enjoyed hearing the details about your Howard journey and Howard story. For the students that are in the audience, please, as you're going through your curriculum, there's a tendency to get through to the end, but I really want you to slow down when possible, be extremely reflective about the journey that you're going through, be really reflective about what you're learning and the relationships that you form while you're here. I heard Dr. Ford say, I remember all of their names to this day, and that is intentional. We want you to have that same level of intentionality as you're going through your education. Stepping into this role as Interim Provost and Chief Academic Officer, I was not aware that we held an anatomy memorial service, and when it first came across my inbox, my hand went over my heart to say, this is so appropriate. This is so necessary. This is so Howard. This is not something that we're going to see on social media. That's been done because it's a part of our core values. And I hope that that is not being missed by you all here in the audience today. But I've told several people today, as my calendar is usually pretty booked, but this was a different kind of event for me to attend today, and certainly one that has a great deal of reverence. But this is a sacred moment for our College of Medicine and our College of Dentistry, for a time that we're going to pause and honor those whose final act of generosity has made possible one of the most profound forms of learning in medical education. The individuals that we will remember today made a remarkable and selfless decision to donate their bodies in the service of science, education, and the preparation of future medical professionals. In doing so, they too are considered your teachers. For the families that are here, we recognize that behind every donor, there is a person who was cherished, whose legacy now extends far beyond what you may have even imagined. For our students who are here today, this experience is often both humbling and transformative. In the anatomy lab, which you've heard earlier, learning is where knowledge meets responsibility, where technical skills are shaped alongside your compassion, and where the foundation of ethical medical practice truly begins. The lessons that you will learn from these donors will as far extend beyond just the technical science of anatomy. They teach us humility, they teach us gratitude, and we develop a profound trust that society places in those who enter the health profession, such as you all. In this reflective moment, you honor these individuals with the care you provide. I heard earlier about knowing just the little details, the orange nail polish on your donors' nails, and really imagining the life that they have lived, but certainly having a sense of care in your relationship that you're going to be forming with them. but the integrity that you uphold in that responsibility, the humanity you bring to every patient that you encounter. So when you are practicing in your field and you have patients that you're developing relationships with, you're going to often remember the donor who helped start you on that journey. You may also be an advocate to others in your families and in your circles of the importance of this act of science and service for future budding medical professionals. So I am honored to be here in your presence today and really look forward to the reverence that I know that we will pay to the donors today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Williams, for those words. Now we would like to introduce our next speaker for the anatomy welcoming remarks. Please welcome Dr. Byron D. Ford, who's an Associate Dean of Research and Graduate Studies in the College of Medicine, to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. To the faculty, staff, students, and our honored guests, welcome to the Anatomy Donor Service. I am Dr. Byron Ford. I am the chair of the Department of Anatomy and Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Studies in the Howard University College of Medicine. I bring you greetings and heartfelt thanks from the Department of Anatomy and from the College of Medicine. I would like to extend a special thanks to the organizers of this program that includes Dr. Suleiman Ramat, Lynette Thompson, and Steve Cosgrove, who have supported this service so expertly over the years. So thank you all. So as chair of the Department of Anatomy, I have the unique privilege of leading the efforts to train our medical, health professions, and graduate students in understanding the human body, as well as its structure, function, and pathology. When I came to Howard almost 4 years ago, it's been a while now, I quickly realized the remarkable history of the Department of Anatomy and the excellence of its faculty and staff. What really stood out to me most was the anatomical donor program and its deep connections to the community. Through this program, members of our community offer the most selfless and honorable gift to help train the next generation of clinicians, scientists, and healthcare professionals. We're profoundly grateful for this gift, which supports our training across health profession schools at Howard. None of this would be possible without the extraordinary generosity of your loved ones. We honor them deeply and remember them with the utmost respect. At Howard, anatomy is one of the flagship courses of our health profession schools, and that includes medicine, dentistry, allied health, and biomedical sciences. I want to thank our outstanding faculty who are consistently recognized by our students as among the best.
My name is Cheryl Fryer. I serve the university as Associate Dean for Academic Affairs in the College of Dentistry. I thank you again, Dr. Ramat, for inviting me to this activity. I missed it last year. My administrative assistant said to me, you got to go this year. I think I had something I really had to do, and I missed this. So this is very important to me. I think this is a vital part of the training program. This is an experience that you will remember forever, as you have heard. I want to share why this is such a special occasion for me. My mom was a nursing student, and then she got married, and she had us. And unfortunately, she was unable to continue her program because we had to be taken care of. And that day, women didn't really work, so she was the homebody with us. So I want to thank Mr. Cosgrove for the efforts that he has, as well as those around the country who serve this capacity. I don't think I would ever have had the opportunity to go to her ceremony because she's in another state. And I don't know that they even serviced that, provided this kind of service. So I ask you all to appreciate your patients. I ask you all to remember the body, it does not stop at the patient level here. And the things that you learn are the things that will grow with you, because this is a foundational piece of your learning in this institution. So I thank you all again for listening to me this afternoon, and I wish you all the best in your career endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fryer. Now I would like to introduce Toby Meditani, a dental student in the class of 2029, who will be sharing a personal reflection. Please welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm a first-year dental student, and my reflection is titled, A Jewel of Inestimable Value. I remember walking into our first gross anatomy lab feeling confused, nervous, and honestly a little overwhelmed. Yet, even in that moment, there was a quiet sense of awe and understanding that what stood before us was not just part of our education, but part of something profoundly meaningful. We were being entrusted with a gift, a sacrifice so great that it is difficult to fully put into words. At the beginning, when Dr. Ramad told us that gross anatomy lab will become our favorite part of the curriculum, I had my doubts. It was hard to imagine how a space filled with uncertainty and discomfort could transform into one of familiarity, respect, and even gratitude, but somehow it did. What began as hesitation became curiosity. What felt unfamiliar became deeply human. And what we initially saw as a requirement became one of the greatest privileges of our training. Because behind every lesson, every structure we studied, and every long night in the lab, there was a person, a life lived, a story that did not end, but instead chose to continue through us. Toward the end of our time, as we learned more about who they were, their names, their journeys, their humanity, it became even more clear that we were never just learning anatomy. We were learning from them. From their final act of generosity, we gained not only knowledge, but perspective, humility, and compassion. To the families, thank you. Your loved ones made a choice that continues to shape who we are becoming, not only as future clinicians, but as people. Their impact did not end with their passing. It lives on in every patient we will one day treat, every life we will touch, and every decision we make with care and intention. To our faculty, it is both a blessing and an honor to be taught with such sincere knowledge and passion. I had never truly experienced education in its fullest sense until I stepped into the walls of the gross anatomy lab. Thank you for giving us your jewels of inestimable value, a gift we will carry with us far beyond these rooms. We honor them not only in this moment, but in every careful touch, every compassionate decision, and every life we're privileged to serve. Their final gift became the foundation of our calling, and we will spend our lives honoring it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toby. Next up is Ayami Fadaka, a medical student in the class of 2029, who will be sharing her personal reflection. Please welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here with us today. My name is Ayami Fadaka, and like they mentioned, I'm a first-year medical student, and I will be sharing my personal reflection. First, I'm going to read an excerpt from the Holy Bible. I'm going to read Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1 to 8. It says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace." Over the past 6 months, my classmates and I have spent a lot of time in the anatomy lab. Time learning, time stressing out, time getting tested, and time reflecting and appreciating our donors and the sanctity of life. We have learned not just about muscles, nerves, blood vessels, but also the value of the temple that houses it all and enables us to live the lives that we enjoy. I have considered the stories that our donors hold and how they are the archives of a precious life lived. I wonder who they had smiled at with the zygomaticus major when I had to identify it, or what emotions their nervous systems helped them express and convey to their community and to their loved ones. Anatomy Lab has been an enlightening yet humbling season as we cared for our first patients, the donors. This experience has been a gift, one that I did not initially understand how much of an impact it would have on me and my classmates. As we advance in our medical education and professional careers, we will carry the fruit of this gift. To the families, thank you. Thank you for trusting us with your loved ones. Thank you for sowing this seed not only into our lives, but into the future of medicine. Your sacrifice will touch the lives of the mothers, brothers, cousins, uncles, aunts who will be our patients in the future, and the families that are with these patients, just as you gave us yours. Your gift will be with us for a lifetime, and we will keep the charge and honor the memory of our donors by being excellent physicians, providing intentional, considerate, and holistic care to the patients we have the honor of serving. Thank you once again, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Ayomi. Now we would like to introduce Fayo Oyolola, who's an anatomy graduate student who will be sharing a poem titled The Greatest Teachers by Dr. Jeffrey M. North. Please welcome her to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fayo Oyolola, and today I will be reading a poem by Jeffrey M. North titled The Greatest Teachers. Recognizing the greatest teachers. The greatest teachers we could ever ask for were once among you and me. Walking the streets, going to work, making a living, living a life. Probably very rarely thinking about all that we would learn from them. The greatest teachers we could ever ask for were once a friend to many. Sharing a laugh, sharing a memory, sharing personal details, things that only the best of friends would know. Sharing a love, sharing a life, and sharing a soul with the one they care the most about. The greatest teachers we could ever ask for never even knew any of us, yet had the courage and the willingness to be there for us no matter how early or late. They shared with us all we could ever ask for, and we were eager to dive in and find out all there is to know. The greatest teachers we could ever ask for were people we don't even know, but ones we know everything about. They will forever be with us, still teaching and reminding us every step of the way. They were more than notes or lectures or presentations. They were the greatest people that we will have ever met. May God bless each of their souls and all of their families. I thank every one of them for the greatest gift one could ever give. Thank you.
Thank you, Fayo. Now we would like to introduce Mr. Stephen Cosgrove, Assistant Director of Anatomy Lab here at the College of Medicine for our Howard Anatomical Gifts program. Please welcome him to the stage.
Good afternoon. It's nice to see everybody. Doesn't seem like it's been a year since we've done this, but it went quickly. I'd like to welcome you to our annual memorial service. Today's service provides us with the opportunity to remember and honor the lives and the families that have touched us over the last year. Each year, our donor families entrust us with... Closer? Okay. Okay, today's service, that better? Okay, let's try this. Better? Okay, good. Today's service provides us with the opportunity to remember and honor the lives and the families that have touched us over the last year. Each year, our donor families entrust us with the gift of their loved one. This service shows the appreciation of the class of 2029 for this most precious gift. The Anatomical Donor Program has been a part of the heritage here at Howard for more than a century. There are many things that have changed over the last century, but one thing is constant. This program remains vital to the students' learning experience. Blending modern technologies with traditional learning, the program, together with the donor, provides the students with the gift of their first patient and gives them an experience that they will remember for the rest of their careers. Our program serves 300 students a year in the disciplines of medicine, dentistry, and allied health. Also, the lab is used for courses involving surgery, dermatology, and orthopedics, as well as by students and groups from other local organizations. Like our students, our donors come from all walks of life. This year, our donors had many varied occupations in fields such as law enforcement, education, physicians, nurses, federal government employees, a cosmetologist, a journalist, a commercial truck driver, and a chef, among others. This year, our donor group was a little younger than usual. We only had one donor who reached 100. Last year, we had 4. Today, we honor and remember the following individuals who have been a part of our program for the last year. Ricardo E. Nightingale, John W. Lawler III, Rose M. Rice, Johnny May Durant, Michael Holland, Everett L. Dargan, M.D., Gwendolyn B. Stringer, Kenneth P. Walker, Larry Glynn Rude, Kermit M. Williams, Barry L. Colbert, Virginia Brown, Charles A. Vincent, M.D., Cheryl Watson, Bessie A. Washington, Jafar D. Saxon, Jocelyn Panone, Monique Lee, Bruce W. McPherson, Willie Bivings Jr., M.D., Gary F. Grimes, Nevada Williams, Alessandra Kundu, Bonnie T. Collier, and Todd W. Drew. May their memory be a blessing. We will now, in just a few moments, have a video presentation that has been submitted by our donor families, which will give us an opportunity to highlight their donor's life so that we can become more familiar with who they were.
That's right. Yeah. Just hit it once, yeah. Yeah. The lights on, right? All right, it's coming on, Yeah, it's coming on. Yeah.
Good afternoon. We are the 6 grandchildren of John Wesley Lawler III, the man that we knew simply as our granddaddy. In December 2024, our family had the honor of entrusting his body to the Howard University College of Medicine Department of Anatomy Anatomical Gifts Program, an institution our family knows well. Our great-grandfather, Dr. John Wesley Lawler II, served as Dean of Howard University College of Medicine, making this place a part of our family's foundation. Our granddaddy was a remarkable man, devoted to his family, his faith, his community, and his craft. To know him was to be better for it, and we are deeply proud to carry his name and his example forward. It's our honor to share a piece of his story with you today.
To understand our granddaddy, you must first know something about his father. Dr. John Wesley Lawler Jr. was born in Bessemer, Alabama in 1904. He earned his medical degree from Rush Medical College, trained as a radiologist at the University of Chicago, and became one of the foremost radiologists of his era, a fellow of the American College of Radiology, and a published researcher whose work appeared in the nation's leading medical journals.
He served as medical director of Providence Hospital in Chicago before being called to something even larger. In 1941, he was appointed the 8th Dean of Howard University College of Medicine, only the second African American to hold that post. He led the school through World War II, overseeing the accelerated training of physicians at a moment when this nation desperately needed them, and personally oversaw the recruitment and commissioning of nearly 400 Black physicians into the United States Army Medical Corps.
When Dr. Lawler was appointed dean, he moved his family from Chicago to Washington, D.C., and this city became our family's permanent home. Our granddaddy grew up shaped by that legacy and carried it quietly, with dignity, for the rest of his life. Our granddaddy was born October 1st, 1936 in Chicago. He came of age here in Washington, went on to earn his civil engineering degree from Hampton University, and married the love of his life, Gloria Guest Gary, on July 16, 1960. They remained devoted partners for 64 years. His career left a lasting mark on the D.C. metropolitan area through landmark military and municipal infrastructure projects, but a career does not capture a man.
He was a gifted bass baritone who sang with the Choral Art Society of Washington, the Washington Chorus, and the National Presbyterian Chancel Choir, and performed at the Kennedy Center Honors. He was a devoted man of faith, a passionate tennis player, and above all, a man who wanted his family near, gathered, and fed. He is survived by his beloved wife, Gloria, his children, John, Gloria, and Gary, 6 beautiful grandchildren, and a host of family and friends whose lives are better for having known him.
Our great-grandfather spent his life advancing medical education and fighting to ensure that the next generation of physicians, particularly Black physicians, had every opportunity to serve this nation with excellence. And it is that same spirit of service that brought our family to this program.
Folks, let me give you a glimpse into the life of my husband, Nevada Williams. What a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
He was born on August 2nd, 1949 in Washington, D.C., the beloved 6th child and cherished baby boy of Wayman and Florence Williams. He received his early education in the Washington, D.C. public school systems and later attended Howard University, where he studied engineering while also beginning his long and distinguished career with AT&T. Over the course of 30 years, Nevada's dedication and excellence earned him numerous accolades, including awards for outstanding service, excellence in attendance, and Employee of the Year. He broke barriers as the first African American in the company to receive advanced training in cutting-edge switching technology. He was entrusted with critical technical responsibilities during the breakup of AT&T into smaller companies. Rising through the ranks from installer to supervisor and trainer, Nevada's leadership and expertise made a lasting impact. In 1989, fate stepped in when Nevada met Patricia McDaniels while helping a friend to move. 2 years later, they were married on August 31st, 1991, a date Patricia cleverly chose to maximize their honeymoon with Labor Day weekend. The union was full of joy, traveling, family gatherings, and love, spanning 33 beautiful years. Nevada was deeply devoted to his family. As the youngest of 6, he never hesitated to care for his parents, often going straight from work to their home to run errands, work in the yard, or simply lend a helping hand. He carried that same dedication into fatherhood, raising his 3 children, whom he adored from a previous marriage as a single parent. Nevada poured his love, time, and wisdom into their lives, always striving to lead by example with quiet strength and unwavering commitment. His selflessness and loyalty were the cornerstones of his character. A man of many interests and talents, Nevada found peace and joy in fishing, gardening, and nurturing his vast collection of houseplants. Nevada also had a passion for photography, turning everyday moments into lasting memories through his lens. His hobby blossomed into a friendly and ongoing competition with Patricia, as the two playfully debated over whose photos were the most creative. Whether behind the camera or among his plants and fishing, Nevada brought intention and care to all that he did. Tennis also remained a lifelong passion, and he continued to play up until 2 months before his passing. One of his most endearing quirks was his love for butterflies. His home was adorned with countless butterfly decorations, which he turned into a delightful game with his grandchildren, who eagerly raced through his house on each visit, counting how many newborn butterflies they could find. Nevada's warmth and quiet strength and general spirit touched everyone who knew him. Nevada's legacy lives on in the lives he touched and the family he cherished, and the love he so freely gave.
Though we all knew her by many different names, through 91 years, Alessandrina, Sandra, Bodhi, Big Auntie, Zia, Mrs. Kundu, Nonna, and Mom was always the same. She was always causing mischief, as her own mamma would attest, falling out of trees and dodging Nazis, never giving her poor father a moment's rest. Alessandrina was an adventuress throughout her long life, leaving a small fishing village to explore a bigger slice, to Brussels, then London, where she met a doctoral student and gambled her future on his big Bengali brain. Who wouldn't? Then to India, Jamaica, and India again. Ghana came next, before Virginia's home claim. Along for the ride now were Marina and me, watching Mom welcome our growing friends and family. The world became smaller thanks to the IBRD, and Sandra, the adventuress, kept right on being free. Together we traveled to Kenya and Japan, to Australia, China, Egypt, and Afghanistan, on to Tahiti, Hong Kong, Russia, and Thailand, not forgetting Norway, Iraq, France, and the Netherlands. Bodhi, the adventuress, was also very soft, taking time to listen, support, and comfort those lost. From sisters to brothers-in-law, from nephews and nieces and sisters-in-law, Big Auntie always made time, and lasagna and crostata for all. Nonostante I viaggi per tutto il mondo, la zia rimaneva pesarese in fondo. A sua casa a Picciano eravamo tutti invitati a mangiare e ballare come I matti. Throughout her long life, Mom was almost always fair, quick to point out where injustice was clear. Even with Babbo, she would often highlight where patriarchy should stop and feminists fight. Mrs. Kundu was her name for the friends of Marina and me. She loved having them visit and eat and be treated as family. Nonna always had a very green thumb, encouraging new life to reach for the sun. She did the same with all the generations, telling her stories to great appreciation, always smiling and laughing and marveling at life and the joy brought to her by the Kundini, Serena, and Liam's new wife. Ciao, Violetta. We all here today should not mourn or be sad, but celebrate instead and be ever so glad. Glad to have shared one life's amazing adventure of travel and true love and friends the world over. Thank you, Alessandrina, Sandra, Bodhi, Big Auntie, Zia, Mrs. Kundu, Nonna, and Mom, a woman known by many names, but just one big, boundless heart.
Cornelia M. Harris, affectionately known as Neely, was born Cornelia May Wiley on May 9, 1925 in Washington, D.C., to the late Hallwood C. and Janie E. Wiley. She was the third of 6 children born to this union. On June 25, 2024, at the age of 99, she peacefully departed this life, leaving behind a legacy of love, grace, faith, and devotion to family. Cornelia was educated in the District of Columbia public school system and graduated from Cardozo High School in 1943. She began her career with the Department of the Army in Washington, D.C., later transferring to Detroit, Michigan, where she remained until her retirement in 1980. While living in Detroit, Cornelia met and married the love of her life, Albert Harris, on July 9, 1965. Their marriage was marked by deep love and devotion, and they remained together until his passing on August 18, 2005. After retirement, Cornelia earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Early Childhood Education and later worked at a daycare center until she and her husband relocated to Aurora, Colorado. Cornelia loved the Lord and accepted Christ at an early age. Throughout her life, her faith remained steadfast. She worshiped in Washington, D.C., Detroit, Aurora, and later returned to the DMV area, where she became a devoted member of Faith Missionary Baptist Church, now the Miracle Center of Faith Missionary Baptist Church. There she served faithfully until her health no longer permitted and was honored as Mother of the Church. Cornelia loved her family and found joy in fashion, food, fellowship, fun, and travel. She and Al traveled extensively and created many cherished memories. She was known for her loving, accepting, forgiving spirit and for being both a peacemaker and a woman of quiet strength. She was preceded in death by her husband Albert Harris, her sisters Beulah Leek, Walter, Frances Alton, and Gladys Bell, her brother Howard Wiley, her nieces Dolores Moore, Sam, Carolyn Lee, and Beverly Blakey, and her nephews Leslie Lee, Mark Bell, and Michael Bell. She leaves to cherish her memory, her sister Hazel Blakey, her stepdaughter Cheryl Payne Hood Robert, her nieces Charlene Robinson, Sandra Wilmore, Jasmine Blakey Porter Donald, Carla Bell, and Lisa Jones Mason, her nephews Wayne Wells, Virginia, Craig Wells, Leonard Alton, William Fisher, Midge, and Joel Fryer, and a host of grandnieces, grandnephews, great-grandnieces, and great-grandnephews, other relatives, and dear friends.
With all the videos, there's so much love to be shown from the families, from the friends, from the loved ones, and thank you again for allowing us to see a glimpse of those people's lives. So next up, we want to present some offerings from the dental class of 2029. And so first, I'd like to introduce Tyquan Jordan, who is a dental student from the class of 2029, and he's going to be reading I Wish You the Courage by Robert Ward. Please welcome him to the stage.
Good afternoon, all. Thank you for your time and your consideration for coming here today. I'll be reading I Wish You Courage by Robert Ward. I wish you the courage to be warm when the world prefers you to be cold. I wish you success sufficient to your needs. I wish you failure to temper that success. I wish you joy in all your days. I wish you sadness so that you may better measure that joy. I wish you gladness to overbalance grief. I wish you humor and a twinkle in your eye. I wish you joy and the strength to bear its burdens. I wish you sunshine on your path and storms to season your journey. I wish you the peace in the world. I wish you peace in the world in which you live and in the smallest corners of your heart where truth stays. I wish you faith to help you define living in your life. More I cannot wish you except love to make all the rest worth living. I want to say thank you to all the families that donated to our cause. We thank you. We hope and pray that we may cherish your loved ones in the way we become physicians and the way we serve our communities in the future. Thank you, and have a blessed day.
Thank you, Taekwon. Now we would like to introduce Harmony Dalton, a dental student in the class of 2029, who will be sharing a flute solo of My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. Please welcome her to the stage.
Thank you, Harmony, for that lovely solo. Now we would like to introduce Jerome Godwin III, who is a dental student in the class of 2029, and he's going to be singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland. Please welcome him to the stage.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found. From your window to a place beyond the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbows, way up high, there's a that I hold of once in the lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream will to come true. Someday I wish upon a star to wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Yeah. Where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, birds fly, over the rainbow. I know I can't hide. If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, I know I can't
Wow, thank you for that beautiful voice, Jerome. I'm still kind of speechless. I never know if I should follow up with that. But next up, we do have our offerings from our medical class of 2029. And so our first up is from our very own, one of our MCs actually today, Chamberlain Newman, and he is a medical student here at the College of Medicine, and he's sharing an original poem titled My Hope. So please give him a warm round of applause.
My hope walks by faith, not by sight. With God, my hope is strong and filled with might. When doubt arises and creeps through the night, My hope prevails and proves itself to be right. H is for its heart that beats at its own pace. O is for its opportunity to wake up with a smile on its face. P is for its perseverance to overcome setbacks with grace. E is for its endurance to run its eternal, everlasting race. My hope, my hope, my hope. Flexible at times, yet strong like a rope. My hope is grounded and always willing to grow. Constantly saying yes, even when others say no. God and my hope are captains of my team. My hope is an expectation, not merely a dream. My hope is powerful, helping me to achieve. And my hope can be yours too, if you can believe. Thank you. Next up, we would like to welcome Toby Aderotoye to the stage with her own personal reflection. Please give her a warm round of applause.
Can you guys hear me? Firstly, I want to take this time to sincerely thank the donors and the families for such a heavy sacrifice that displays some of the highest levels of humanity. Walking into the anatomy lab for the first time, many of us had to face the austerity of death face on. For me, death has always been complicated. Ironically, in my first year of undergrad, I lost someone I adored and valued deeply, Miss Lucille. Miss Lucille was not only my de facto grandmother, as she attended all grandparent events, because my grandparents lived in Nigeria, but she was most importantly one of my biggest supporters. As a kid, she was my after-school guardian, made me the best tomato and ham sandwiches, and was one of the first people in my life to remind me that I am smart and I can achieve anything. She exemplified humanity in every aspect of life. She would call during my first year just to check on me, especially when she heard Howard in the news, and that happened frequently. But during my first spring break, I had planned to see Miss Lucille and foolishly thought I should wait until tomorrow morning to greet her. The next day, I and so many lost Miss Lucille to a stroke. I unfortunately never got to pay my respects or give my final goodbye. So when I first met our lovely donor, Miss Virginia, the only thing I could think of was my own beloved Miss Lucy. We gave our donor a temporary name because in my culture, names and titles are important. So we always reminded people when they came to our donor to be gentle. And Dr. Ramon and Dr. Diogo will tell you, I annoyed them with, be gentle with our donor. But to me, Miss Virginia was my very first patient, and it was my personal mission to ensure that she was treated with the utmost respect and honor. As the semester closed out, we finally learned her name, Miss Virginia, her age, job, and cause of death. It made me light up to know that she was an activities coordinator for a senior center, as my own beloved Miss Lucy was an avid participant in the local senior center. Most importantly, Miss Virginia was a daily reminder of humanity's power. In life and death, Miss Virginia cared for people, so much so that she was willing to allow the next generation of physicians to train using her personal body, to ensure that the future generation had excellently trained doctors. For me, I finally made peace with losing one of the biggest inspirations in my life, but it also forced me to reflect on Maya Angelou's quote, "Be certain that you do not die without having done something wonderful for humanity. Whether you save lives as a surgeon, donate your body for anatomy lab, or just be someone's support. I urge you all to have no regrets and to remember that all this time on earth and all these trainings is to do something wonderful for humanity." Thank you.
Thank you, Toby, for sharing that with all of us today. Next, we would like to welcome Cameron Ogle, another medical student in the class of 2029, to the stage with his own personal reflection. Please join me in welcoming him to the stage.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cameron Ogle, and I'm M1 student and a proud member of Tank 29 in the Anatomy Lab. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to speak here at the donor service. Within the past 180 days since Structure and Function began, there's been an incredible amount of change in my life. Yet it's clear the impact that studying the donors has had on the course of my life going forward. So I hope you don't mind if I use this opportunity as a mini therapy session, and I hope these reflections reach your heart. When comparing how I felt at the beginning of anatomy to now, everything feels familiar but completely different. I've come to understand why there's a sort of understated grandeur and overstated morbidity when it comes to dissection, for it is both the desecration of the most sacred temple and reverence of the most heavenly creation. I couldn't tell you when it happened, but it feels like a boundary has been crossed, or maybe it'd be better to say that a threshold has been pierced. Regardless, I know the truth of the feeling lies somewhere between the translation from diagrams and textbooks to the flesh in front of you. Flesh that's still raucous with the echoes of a life that's chosen a wholly special way to persist. When I first entered the lab, I didn't think I'd have to wrestle with questions like, what does it mean to know someone? How is it that for someone I never met, I know them in one of the most intimate ways possible? How is it I can perfectly navigate the labyrinth-like vessels that traverse each into their body, but I couldn't tell you what their voice sounded like? I don't know what made him laugh. I just know that his lungs could fully fill with air. Yet when I look into his eyes, I see the reflection of everything that he's gazed upon. And maybe all this is why in those still moments in the lab, when I'm mostly sure no one else can hear me, I talk to him. Maybe it's my way of trying to show him that I still feel his humanity, that he still has presence. Or maybe I feel guilty that I know so much about him that it's only fair if he learns about me. We're finishing up anatomy soon, and I still don't have solid answers to all these questions. I'm just left with these emotions and no choice but to just feel them. I know that I feel more alienated and connected to people than ever before. I feel alien from my friends when I speak with enthusiasm at holding the heart, only to look up and see their faces covered in disquieted disgust. Yet I feel a connection to the stranger I see limping down the street as I try to place which of their muscles are working unopposed. What is clear to me now is what I have to do going forward. I have to pay it forward. I owe it to the donor, I owe it to his loved ones, and I owe it to myself to demonstrate the same generosity so that others may inherit the goodwill that was lent to us. I just want to end this little therapy session by saying this. To understand the personal is to know the universal, which is why I'm eternally grateful to my donor for connecting me to the light that radiates from the heart of all living things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cameron. Now it's time for some music. So next up, we're going to have some musical offerings from the medical class of 2029. And first up, we're going to have Yusuf Mahboob, who is a first-year medical student, and he's going to be performing a guitar solo of How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees. Please welcome me and welcome him to the stage.
Good afternoon, I'm Yusuf. Truly it's a privilege to be here, and thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Yusuf. That was great. Next up, we want to introduce Miles Selders and Nina Wayne, two first-year medical students in the class of 2029 who will be singing a duet of the song For Good from the musical Wicked with song and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage.
So this is a duet, so we'll have to share the mic at some points, but we'll figure it out. And while we're waiting, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for allowing us to be here. The donors were our first patients, and it's truly a measurable experience. And yeah, thank you so much. We're forever grateful to all the donors. Special shout out to my donor, Alessandra, and Nina's donor, Brianna.
Groceries, housing, healthcare, electricity, auto insurance. Inflation is hurting.
Just look at me. And just look at me.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's
Thank you, Miles and Nina, for that amazing performance. I believe that after that, we've all been changed for good. Now we would like to introduce Dr. Salman Ramat, who serves as the Director of Anatomy and Neuroanatomy, the Medical Course Director, and the Dental Course Director, who will be sharing a personal reflection titled, How I Know You. Please welcome him to the stage.
You all can hear me, right? Yeah? All right, good. Good afternoon. I want to thank each of you for attending today's Anatomy Memorial Service. I have managed this program for several years now, and it still amazes me how talented our students really are. Thank you, thank you. Students from the College of Nursing and Allied Health Sciences, College of Dentistry, Anatomy Graduate Program, and College of Medicine treat all donors with respect and compassion, even giving them names and talking to them during dissections. I want to give one more round of applause to all participants who shared their feelings, experiences, and gratitude. I want to thank Dean Hayes Dixon and Dean Deborah Ford from the College of Medicine for their unwavering commitment to our program. I want to thank my chair, Dr. Byron Ford, for promoting the Anatomical Gifts program and helping us whenever we need. I want to thank our administrative coordinator, Ms. Lynette Thompson, for assisting with donor families, ordering supplies, and supporting our program. I want to thank my assistant lab director, Mr. Stephen Cosgrove, for working very closely with the families, for maintaining all donors in our courses, and ensuring that the anatomy lab runs efficiently every day. I want to thank my colleague, Dr. Janine Zierman-Canavaro, for her selfless act in teaching across the different colleges and for helping us whenever we need her. I want to thank my former student and colleague, Dr. Lindsay Coper, for the countless hours she spends with students. Her passion and dedication for teaching and for helping me whenever I need her. I can always rely on her. Thank you very much. Lastly, I want to thank all the donors and their families for bestowing this generous gift to the College of Medicine. These are the first patients our students will ever learn from. We are indebted to you forever. I have the unique experience of learning from donors as a student in the College of Medicine and then teaching with them as a professor. Every year I see the apprehension and hesitation of students in the anatomy lab change to enthusiasm, awareness, and deep appreciation. Every time the course starts, every semester, whether it's medical or dental, whatever course I'm teaching, I tell them on day one, anatomy is the most memorable and most important subject you'll ever take. And if you ask any of the upperclassmen, they'll tell you, Ramat never lies. All right. Now I'll read an original poem entitled, How I Know You. Although I do not know the paths you walked in your life, I felt the muscle fibers that carried you there. Although I do not know who broke your heart or filled it with joy, I opened the four chambers to see how blood flowed within. Although I do not know the dreams and thoughts you had, I learned the nerve tracts of your brain that made them possible. Although I do not know who took your breath away, I held your lungs that allowed you to breathe. Although I do not know the family, friends, and lovers you held tight, I grasped the fingers that you used to do so. Although I do not know what stresses and weights you carried on your back, I reflected the muscles that allowed you to. Although I do not know what beauty, sadness, and joy you witnessed in your lifetime, I learned how you were able to see the world. Although I do not know what motivated you in life, I met all the organs that worked tirelessly to sustain you. Although I do not know the family you created and raised, I explored the inner workings of your reproductive system. Although I do not know the countless lives you have touched while you were living, I want to thank you for training the future generations of healthcare professionals. Although I do not know a great deal about you, I do know that you have given the greatest gift anyone could ever give. Your selfless act has demonstrated the miracles of the human body to all of us. As the years go by and we work in hospitals, offices, clinics, and schools in our individual careers and roads, each life we save, each person we heal, and each cure we discover is directly the result of the gift your loved ones bestowed. And this is how I know you. Thank you. And now I'm going to play a video made by our own Cameron Ogle with the student M1 remembrances of the donor program and this year. Thank you, Cameron, for getting this together on a late notice. Thank you. All right. Let's turn on my There we go. All right.
What does the anatomy and donor program mean to you?
So I personally am super grateful for the donor program because it allows us to learn not only about what we're learning in the lecture, but actually see a lot of the stuff that we're learning about. The donors in particular, they sacrificed and they allowed us to learn with their bodies. So I'm thankful for them. I'm thankful for the families that allowed us as well. You know, it really is going to be impactful because they are not just allowing us to learn, but they're going to aid us through our journey as physicians, and they're going to be able to impact the next generation of physicians and then those patients as well. So the donation that they made really is not going to be able to be quantifiable, but it really is a very selfless act that they did, and I'm super grateful for it.
I really love the anatomy lab program here at Howard. I think it's really important to contribute to students' understanding of anatomy, and it'll really help us become excellent physicians. And so I thank you to the donors of these bodies that allow us to make that instruction happen.
Every day that I walk into the lab, I'm thankful that we have people who've donated their bodies to science so that myself and my classmates can learn human anatomy properly and so that we can be the best doctors we can be in the future. And so to loved ones and to everyone seeing this, thank you so much. And the donation to science has been incredible.
Hi everyone. I just want to give out my thanks to the patients and to the families who have graciously donated the bodies to our medical school. They have been extremely important for our learning and for teaching us humility. Our coordinator told us, on the first day that these are our first patients, and I just want to say, thank you to them because I now have a greater appreciation for life and for the human body itself because it is just so amazing. So thank you guys.
To us, your loved ones were our first patient, our silent teachers, and it taught us just about the intricacies of the human body, but more than that, their donation to our education really taught us about the selflessness of the human spirit. So can't thank you enough. Words can't really, I can't really put into words how much the donor program means to me.
I'm an M1. My name is Christopher Baidu, and I'm forever, eternally thankful for the families and the people who donated their bodies to science. I know it was an easy decision, and I feel like just the knowledge that we gained as a class from this experience has just been, it can't be replicated. And for our future patients and for our current studies, just thank you. There's a lot of surprises throughout the year. We had John as our cadaver, and just learning like everything that he went through, like that was such an amazing experience. Like you learn a lot about just how people live through this, and I hope in the future I can help save a lot of lives. We can all be great doctors. So thank you.
Thank you to all the loved ones of each of our donors. They helped us learn so much this year and has inspired a new generation of physicians. And once again, thank you so much for your contributions to our educations, and your loved ones will forever be missed.
Hello, my name is Joshua Davis. I'm a first-year medical student. And Nevada meant a lot to my learning experience. You know, like dealing with his body, I was able to hold a heart for the first time, hold a lung for the first time. It was a really invigorating experience, and I'm glad that he donated and allowed me to learn more about the human body and anatomy.
Being able to learn from your guys' family members after they've already lived their lives is a true honor. And because of their donation, we are going to be better physicians and hopefully ones that they would be proud of.
I thank the donors and their families so much for this wonderful opportunity and for helping me become the best doctor I possibly can. I hope to take this generosity with me into my professional life and to become a doctor that they can be proud of. I thank you again.
Thank you so much to the donors and your families. This will be such a pivotal moment in our medical education that we'll never forget, and I'm sure that it will contribute to our success as physicians.
Hi, my name is Jordan Benson. I'm an M1 at the College of Medicine, and I'd like to thank the families for allowing us to have these bodies in order to progress our education. We can't be the doctors that we want to be without you guys' gracious donations. I know that my body was John, and we learned all about his life and his legacy that he lived. We're hoping to not only remember him, but also perpetuate his greatness as we go on and be the physicians that we know and we dream to be. So like I said, thank you guys so much, and we're truly blessed to have your generosity at our school.
I just want to thank the donors and their families. Thanks so much to the donors for donating their bodies to our anatomy lab and allowing us to learn on the bodies as we did. It really contributed to our education, and it was really such a selfless act for them to donate their bodies as they did. So thank you so much.
I just wanted to say and show my gratitude and thanks towards the families who have so graciously allowed us as medical students to continue to study the human body and allow for us to continue to further the field of medicine. So thank you so much for your gracious offering, and we appreciate all that you do for us, and we hope we can return the favor as doctors in the future.
Thank you so much for your donation. I really appreciate it. As someone who's had a lot of loss in my life, I know that that's a really big sacrifice, but I just want you to know that we really appreciate your sacrifice, and hopefully we can use the knowledge that we've gained in lab to contribute to patients in the future. So thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Oliver, and I'm a first-year medical student. This year I had the opportunity to learn from Tiffany, and it's been a really grateful opportunity for me. I'm so honored for her sacrifice, and I was able to learn so much. She's taught me so many things that really enriched my education, and I'm so thankful for her generosity.
Thanks so much for your contributions to our medical education. We really appreciate it. It helps us to develop a thorough understanding of anatomy, and I feel confident that it's going to help us become the best doctors we can be.
To all the family members and loved ones, I just want to say thank you so much for your sacrifice and for your donation, for really just giving us, my classmates and I, the gift of learning, this precious gift of learning, to learn as much as we can about this wonderful body that we've been given. And thank you for trusting my classmates and I, and please know that your sacrifice is not in vain. And the things and the experiences that I've been able to learn here today in this lab is something that I'll carry with me into my future practice. So once again, just want to say thank you so much.
I'm Antonio Powell, you're a medical student, and I want to thank the donors and the families for allowing me to have a unique experience and be able to learn from the anatomy lab, and we greatly appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Hi everyone, I want to say thank you so much to the donors for allowing us to learn our anatomy so intimately, and for really being our first patients and allowing us to learn the respect and humility and integrity that's necessary to become physicians. I can honestly say that this is probably going to be one of the most impactful experiences of our med school career. Thank you.
So how did you feel when you first walked into the anatomy lab?
I think I was very overwhelmed by the generosity of our donors and their families to allow us to learn from them in such an intimate way, and just very grateful that they gave us this opportunity as first-year medical students, and the opportunities that we've had to learn over the course of the last 2 semesters will really impact us for the rest of our careers. And not just us, but impact the safety and the health of our future patients. And so I'm very grateful for this opportunity. So thank you to all of our donors and their families. We really appreciate you. And we're going to be better doctors because of it.
To the family of our donors, there are no words adequate enough to express the depth of our gratitude, but we want you to know that your beloved one's gift profoundly shaped who we are becoming as physicians. In the quiet of the anatomy lab, your family member became our first teacher. They introduced us to the incredible complexities and the beauty of the human body, lessons no textbook could ever fully capture. We learned not just anatomy, but humility, reverence, and the sacred trust that the patients one day will place in us. We did not know your loved one's name, their story, or the life they live, but we felt the weight of their gift every single day. We are forever grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to close our ceremony with thoughts and prayer, we would like to re-welcome Father Robert Boxey back to the stage. Please give him a warm round of applause.
As I've been here observing and listening to all of the reflections and the creativity and the words of all of you here, 2 things struck me. This truly has been a celebration of life. The donors, the families, the students, your creativity, your gifts. Whenever we celebrate life, we recognize how we're all connected together. The seamless garment of life that connects all of us together. And whenever we celebrate life, we're celebrating love. There's so much love in this room that from the families to the donors, from the students to your the donors that you operated on and received, you can tell that the love here is real. The second thing that struck me is I don't think that none of us, any of us will ever know the impact of the gift of life of these donors. I was once, there's the old adage of, when you cut an apple, you know the exact number of seeds in the apple. Every apple has a certain number of seeds that you can see and count and quantify. But you never know the number of apples that are in that particular seed. And to me, that really captures the impact that I don't think we will ever know of the gift and generosity of these lives. I'm not even sure if these doctors, these future doctors and healthcare professionals will know the impact, the generosity, the selflessness of the lives that your loved ones have given to them, and the thousands upon thousands upon thousands of patients that your generosity from your family member will have given them to serve, to heal, and to love. Let us bow our heads in prayer. We thank you, God, for what our ears have seen, what our eyes have seen, what our ears have heard, what our hearts have felt, and what our spirits have experienced. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord let his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you his peace. And let all those who believe say amen. And please now stand for the singing of the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing
listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in the day that home unborn and died. Yet with a steady beat, have not our weary feet come to the place on which our fathers sat. We have come over a way that with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughtered. Out from the gloomy past, till now we stand at last, where the white gleam of our star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, Thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, Thou who hast by Thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met Thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget Thee. Shadowed beneath Thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Thank you. Thank you all for attending. Okay. Yeah. Feel free to join us outside in the foyer. We have food and refreshments.